Hey, howdy. Welcome to Joy Filled Pets. I've got a really special treat for you today. So come on in, take a seat, and let's meet two of the cuddliest dachshunds ever. I'm Jenny, and I use pet sitting as a way to fund my travel adventures. I do it on the side, mostly for my friends and my local community. And I meet a lot of really sweet, cute critters. And I wanted to showcase them on the channel to give them a voice to be able to, I don't know, just show off a little bit and show how cute they are, how much fun they have, and what their lives are like. So I've decided to introduce this new series called The Pet Life. It'll be a lot of different videos showcasing each of the pets that I take care of and even my own from past days. Yes, all of these little critters on the screen are pets that I have taken care of. Before I go any further, I really want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time and your interest in the channel. So if this is something that you'd like to see more of in the future, more pet videos, or just fun little animal things, please hit that subscribe button to let me know that you're interested. And if today's video brings you any enjoyment, maybe you find yourself smiling a lot along the way, please give the girls a big thumbs up. They would be thrilled. All right, without further ado, let's get started and meet our guests of honor. This is Ruby and Rosie, the two most cuddliest dachshunds you will ever meet. They certainly are the cuddliest that I've ever sat for. They are just under 2 years old, and they aren't actually sisters, but their parents got them pretty close to the same time. Ruby came first, and their parents learned quickly what a handful she was going to be, especially as a puppy. I think they probably came along at right around 8 or 9 weeks old, and Ruby proved to be quite a handful. So they went and got Rosie, and they've instantly bonded and are now two peas in a pod, completely in love with each other. Ruby is the one who wears the red collar, and Rosie wears the blue, which is almost the only way I could remember them sometimes because Ruby red, right? Ruby's longer and more active, whereas Rosie's a little bit plump, but she will sit with you all day long. Ruby also really loves to chase the squirrels. She's a very big hunter, and she wants to keep that backyard danger-free. So she'll go out there and she will sniff around and watch out for all the birds and the squirrels and the mice and the lizards and make sure everything is ship-shape out there for hours. Whereas Rosie refuses to stay outside by herself. She wants to be indoors with you almost always. And if you go outside, she wants to be with you. If you go to the bathroom, she wants to be with you also. So this little spot here on my lap really is their favorite place. Here's Rosie saying hi to the camera. She's quite the little wiggle butt. She's very hard to film and to show how cute she is, but she really is such a sweetheart. And she's learned how to sit up on her little butt. It's really cute. And here comes Ruby. Ruby just went out and did her business, so she's extremely excited to get her treats. Her mom sets out 5 little mini milk bones every day for each one of the girls, and throughout the day they get one. And they also get these little chewy sticks. They go to town on these treats. They love them. Look at those tails. Oh my goodness. What sweet girls. There's their chewy sticks. They're big jumpers, always jumping to get your attention. But there they go. They love those chewy sticks. And Rosie always goes to her crate and she turns around in there and eats it from her crate. And Ruby always goes to the living room to eat it on the carpet. So these girls really are the cuddliest. I mean, as soon as I sit down, they are in my lap, jumping up to get all the love. And Rosie actually doesn't like to jump from the ground right there. She wants the chair, the recliner, to come up so that she can use that as sort of like a little ramp. She does do it from time to time, like you just saw there, but she tends to fall off. Ruby's so funny. She just immediately, she is definitely the more spry and flexible of the duo, but they have so much love to give. Oh my goodness. They are just a mess. But Ruby always jumps up there and she wants to assume the position right in the middle of my legs, and especially after I put the chair out. Here we go. Rosie's going to jump up. There she comes. She will literally climb over and on top of and lay on and sit on Ruby all the time. And Ruby doesn't mind. It's really funny how they're like little toddlers and they just don't mind each other at all. They can sleep in any position. You can pick them up and move them around and they don't care. As long as you're there and touching them, they are happy. Rosie loves to investigate anything you have to eat or drink. She tried many a time to get my coffee in the mornings. Here she comes. There she goes, looking for my coffee. She almost got herself a big lick. And there's Ruby, assuming position. We hung out every morning. I tried to drink my coffee as carefully as possible because they do not sit still for a long time. It takes them quite a while to get settled. But Rosie really likes any food or drink that you have, and she will sit in the kitchen and wait for food to drop on the floor, like rolling carrots, for example. She loves carrots. Ruby does too. They both really love the little raw carrots. I don't think they like them cooked. Isn't that funny how some dogs are like that? There's another guy I watched, Levi and Barney. They both like carrots also. Oh, Max and Cooper love carrots, but Barney will not eat, and Levi neither will eat a cooked one. They only want them raw. Just so cute how they have their own little personalities. But yeah, they love treats and snuggling and just having a big time on your lap. But they do jump in my face, and I've had many a word about it. We're trying really hard to teach them. Each time I go sit with them, I feel like I'm still training. I'm not a dog trainer. but I do have to do some training while I sit. We try really hard. They'll sit here for hours, but Ruby, every now and then, decides that she needs to change positions and Rosie might be in the way. So Ruby, being the little manipulator of the duo, will get off of my lap. She'll go over to the back door and she'll make a little noise to get Rosie's attention. And Rosie might think, oh, I need to go investigate. And so she jumps down and goes to the door. And what does Ruby do? Ruby runs back to my lap and assumes prime position. She is a turkey. All right, let's take a second to go over what the breed. All right, the dachshunds are also known as wiener dogs or doxies for short. They are of German descent and they were bred to hunt badgers and rabbits and other burrow-dwelling animals. So their little long snouts and their long bodies and short legs come in really handy for getting in those crawly spaces. Since they were bred in Germany, Germany actually uses the dachshund as kind of like a mascot or a symbol. That's interesting, I thought. Dachshunds are either short-haired, long-haired, or wire-haired. They come in 3 different sizes. The standard size is the largest size. That's the most common, but there are also mini dachshunds as well, which is the smallest. And then you have the tweenie, which is right in the middle. The fur types are smooth, short-haired. You have really soft, long-haired, and you have a very coarse, wire-haired. They come in 3 colors primarily. There's the red, brown, which is what Ruby and Rosie are. There's also a black, which usually is black and tan. Black dogs often have tan on their eyebrows, their chest, maybe their snout right at the bottom, and their feet. And then you have the mixed colors, which is kind of like they describe them as dapple, piebald, or brindle. And that's kind of like a splotchy color, usually white with a lot of brown, black, and gray spots. But you also have the darker colored dog, black dog with brown spots all over. So that just really makes them quite unique. And they're all very different. Not one is alike, that's for sure. They range around 7 to 30 pounds total. So the standard dachshund will weigh 15 to 30 pounds, and the miniature will weigh somewhere around 7 to 15. Of course, the tweenie is in between, kind of hovering around 15 pounds. But my dachshunds weighed right around 15 pounds, I believe. So the miniature though, there's another dachshund that I've sat for, Ginger, and she weighs on the very low end. She's probably 7 pounds or less. She's a little bitty thing. Maybe they have a mini. I don't know. Their age ranged from 12 to 15 years. My dachshunds were 16 when they passed, and I think some, of course, can pass away much sooner, even at age 10, but the average would be right in the middle there, around 12 to 15 years. All right, let's take a look. Here we have in the upper left a short-haired dapple dachshund and her brother or sister. I can't remember. I sat for them a very long time ago and only once, and there were 3 of them. The one in the top left is not the same as the white and brown one right in the middle, but they're all in the same family. So you have the dapple and the black dog and another dapple variety. You can tell in the black dog, you can see his brown feet, and he also has brown under his snout. And then, of course, you've got Rosie there. The red dogs are not always only red. They can also have lots of white on them, especially white on their chest. Rosie here has a lot of white on hers. My little guy, Ozzy, he had one little white spot, and as he aged, it kind of faded. Then you have the long-haired and wire-haired. The long-haired there, we have Ginger and Stretch. I've sat for both of them, but I've never sat for a wire-haired. The long-haired dachshunds usually have wispy hair on their ears, wispy hair on their chest, and then their sometimes wispy hair on their paws, and then their tails are often very hairy. I know Ginger always goes out in the yard, and because they're so low to the ground, she gets leaves stuck in her tail all the time. The wire-haired are so cute though. Look at how cute they are. Those two little guys there, um, they have such coarse fur, but the hair on their snout makes them just look so cute and distinguished, and I think very European. All right, as far as temperament goes, they can be extremely stubborn. They can also be aggressive. I would call that brave or defensive, but they can also be so cuddly. As you can see with Ruby and Rosie, they are so cuddly and loving and affectionate. But when it comes to defending their territory, dachshunds are often aggressive, and I think that's because they're such little dogs. They have kind of like a little dog complex, and they want to be brave and stand tall and make sure that their family and their home is secure. But also, they were bred for hunting, so they have kind of a hunting personality too. So that makes them brave to go out and find critters that um, that's what they were born to do. They are prone to back problems as they age, and especially because they jump around a lot and they can get overweight. They do experience back problems like disc disease, and even some dachshunds suffer from problems with their little legs and kneecaps. So you have to be really careful with them jumping around, especially from high surfaces. They get really excited and they don't know, and they'll jump off the bed, but they could really hurt themselves. And you want to keep them on a pretty even diet, because if they start getting overweight, carrying that extra weight can be really burdensome to them. A lot suffer from separation anxiety. I think a lot of dogs do in general, but these little guys definitely do. And they can be really big barkers and diggers. And I think that just comes with the territory of their personality and the reason why they were bred to hunt. And so you gotta bark, you gotta dig. So that's pretty typical. But my little guy Ozzy, he did not learn to dig. I was very grateful for that. So some dachshunds just aren't diggers. Like Rosie, she does not dig. But Ruby will go out there and she'll dig all the holes. She is definitely a true dachshund. The newest additions of this family are chickens. Their dad decided that they wanted to raise chicks, and they now have 12 egg-laying hens. So each day that I got to go and sit with them, I picked up the eggs. I was so surprised that every day I picked up at least 10, if not 12 eggs. It was amazing. And these girls were talkative. They wanted to come out of their coop, but they are really hard to wrangle. Have you ever tried to herd chickens? If you have, leave a comment below with the word chicken. It is not an easy feat, especially for one person. Check out those eggs. 6 in one basket. Oh my goodness. This is their deluxe coop that their dad built from scratch. He did a really good job. Rosie and Ruby can come out here in this backyard. This is not fenced in, so we have to keep an eye on them, make sure that they're sticking around, because Ruby can go hunting, and she wanders off and she doesn't know how far she's gone into the neighbor's yard or beyond. So we keep an eye on them there, but they are not allowed out when the chickens go out. They don't get along. They are not to play with each other. I'm going to give you a bird's eye view here. There she is. Yeah, their dad did a really good job building this coop. They've got a nice place to rest and a nice place to lay eggs. And don't ask me what kind they are. I am not a chicken expert. I have no idea what types these are. But I do know there are a few different kinds, and they are young. And so they are laying plenty of eggs right now, for sure. Here's another look at the other side. And you can see Ruby running around out there somewhere too. There she is. She's chasing something. She's always looking for something. I'm trying to give you a good look at them. There they are. Yeah, they were very squawky, very cluck, cluck, cluck. They were talkative. And of course, here's Rosie hanging out near me. She does not wander far. But they do run and play all over that yard. It's really cute to watch them run. Hey, have you ever been to wiener races? Oh my goodness, what a hoot. If you ever get the chance to go to the wiener races, you've got to go. You will love it. Dachshunds love to run, and they put them out there, and they take off running straight to their owners. But some don't run straight to their owners, and they get to playing or wandering off. It's so cute. All right, question of the show. Rosie wants to know, would you rather take care of puppies or seniors? Leave us a comment in the down below. Just comment puppy or senior. I think for me, I would rather take care of seniors at this point. I really struggled when I got my puppy Ozzy. It was such a challenge. I loved him so very much. I am very grateful that I had the blessing of raising him. For 16 years, he was in my life. But there was a moment early on when I almost gave him up. And I hate saying that, but it's true. I was so overwhelmed with trying to train him and just learning what he needed and him learning what I was expecting of him. And it was just such a big challenge. He was so young. I got him when he was 8 weeks old. Actually, here's a picture of him there. That's little Ozzy at 8 weeks old. I went to the mall. I ended up in the pet store. I was not intending to buy any animals at all. I know, don't buy from a pet store. It wasn't my intention, but I landed inside the store, and you know how that goes. This little guy was all over me, and I could not leave him there. So I took him home and got him all the things, the crate and the leash and all the toys and the food, and we started living and learning together and growing together. And yeah, it was wonderful, but it was so hard. And I just don't think I was ready for it. I just don't know that I knew what I was getting into. And yeah, I don't think I would want to take on another puppy at this stage in my life. Even Ruby and Rosie, when they were younger, the first time I sat for them, they were not even a year old. And oh my, they're just everywhere, and they don't know how to do the things that you need them to do, like go potty outside because I'm not coming home for a while, that kind of thing. But they're just so cute. I mean, look at that face. And he was only, if you put your hands together, he fit right there. He was just so small and so cute. And we had so many great years together. When Ozzy was maybe 5 or 6, I got Harriet. Harriet there is the Chihuahua mix. I got Ozzy and Harriet on purpose. I don't know if you'll catch the reference or not, but way, way, way back in the day, there was a show on TV called The Adventures of Ozzy and Harriet. It featured the family, Ozzy and Harriet Nelson, and their 2 boys, David and Ricky. Ricky was a musician. And when I was younger, they played these shows, reruns on the Disney Channel way back when. And I liked that show, and I just thought Ozzy and Harriet were cute names. So when I got Ozzy, I named him that because I knew one day I would get him a sister, and I would name her Harriet. So So there they are, 2 peas in a pod there together. And then as Ozzy got older, you can see how he ages with his snout and all the gray hair. Oh, what a little love. Aw, I miss him very much, but I wouldn't trade it. I mean, that puppyhood was hard, but all the years of love that he gave me was so worth it. And Harriet too. They both lived to 16 years, and they definitely both gave me a run for my money. Yeah, so my answer is I would rather take care of a senior. So what is your answer? Let me know in the comments. Just put puppy or senior, and if you want to share a story about your pet, please feel free. I would love to hear from you. Okay, let's check out Ruby and Rosie. They love peanut butter. They love their treats, but they love peanut butter too. And their mom said I could give them a teaspoon if I wanted to, so we did. Look at them. Let's see if I can get the sound on. Peanut butter. Those tongues. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Good. Just a little bit left. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and seeing Ruby and Rosie up close and personal. I think more is coming. I have some other plans to make more videos, of course. So if this was enjoyable to you, please Join the Joy-Filled Life, no, Joy-Filled Pets community by hitting the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and give us a big thumbs up for liking this video and liking Ruby and Rosie. They would really appreciate it, I know. Ruby's so funny. She goes over there and gets her toy, and Rosie thinks, oh, we're done. And then she comes and attacks. They always sound so ferocious. I will give you a PSA real quick. My Ozzy and Harriet used to play together, and they would wrestle just like this, crazy, crazy, when they were young. And one time, Harriet was wrestling and grabbed Ozzy by the neck, with her jaw wide open, and her jaw and teeth got stuck in his collar. Ended up getting stuck and choking him. I mean, thankfully I was there. They were playing right at my feet, just like these girls are. But I had to go and get scissors and cut the collar off of him. I couldn't get it off without cutting it. But it was choking him, and I had to go spring into action straight away because he was gasping for air. It was terrifying. So after that, no more collars were on when they wanted to play. Only when it was time to go for a walk or when they had to go outside on their own. Otherwise, collars came off when they came inside to play because I was not going to go through that again. So you all keep a close eye on your critters as they are playing together, and make sure their collars don't get stuck in their jaws. All right, friends, thank you so much for being here again. Remember, subscribe to the channel for more content, and until next time, keep your paws clean and your tails wagging.